This is not the man I met. He is egotistical, he disrespects me.
This entire marriage has been forced upon me.
When you don't have trust, when you don't have that foundation, the relationship is over before it starts.
I'm at my breaking point. He has a problem with spending.
You have champagne taste on a soda water budget.
Yes,
What's
honey,
going on?
come on, champagne taste. It's about the taste, not about the budget.
I can't trust him anymore. The man that I married would never have done that.
I'm not going to advise her to try to make this work because I think it's dangerous. I think it's gone beyond that. Here is today's case.
This young mother says there's only one thing tearing their family apart: her boyfriend's gambling addiction. But he says he has it all under control. Is he gambling to escape their problems, or is it all a bluff? That's today's case on Divorce Court.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, our virtual audience is filled with your superfans. Today's superfan of the day is Christina from Ardmore, Pennsylvania.
Welcome, Christina. We're so happy to have you with us in Divorce Court.
Your Honor, this is the case of Evans versus Clement.
Thank you, Juan. Miss Chasity Evans.
Yes, Your Honor.
You have brought Mr. Wesley Clement
Yes, Your Honor.
to Divorce Court today. I understand the two of you have been in a relationship for 4 years.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are not married, but you are here to see if you can work out some of your issues and make a decision about what to do about moving forward.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll start with you, Miss Evans. Why don't you give me some background?
Okay, Your Honor. I love my boyfriend, Wesley Clement, and we have a beautiful family together. However, he is very inconsiderate. He has a drinking problem, and his gambling habits have just simply gotten out of control to the point where they have caused us to get in a little bit of debt. He takes money out of the accounts without notifying me, and I'm just very, very, very tired of it. If he does not fix this problem, I'm out the door, and we may not have a future together.
What do you have to say about that, Mr. Clement?
I don't have a drinking problem, you feel me? I don't have a gambling problem, you know.
What do you think she's so upset about and why you ended up here today?
Lack of communication, probably so. A lot of things, though, I do for her and for my family. I handle my responsibilities, you know. Sometimes I might dibble in or dabble in, but I don't know, I always into like money and stuff like that. But I always bring it back, if not more. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a part of the game. When I do gamble and she thinks I have this gambling problem, it's not an everyday thing. It's ever so often.
So you think she's overreacting?
For sure.
I am not overreacting.
Well, tell me what's happened, Miss Evans, because you've given some specific examples of why you say it's become problematic for you and your family, because the two of you have a child together.
True.
We do.
Right? Okay.
Yes, sure.
Okay, Your Honor, let me set this up for you. There was a time that we were late on our rent, right? Now, we have several accounts. We have a checkings account, we have a business account, we have an emergency fund. However, this particular account, our rent comes out every month on the same exact day, so we know it's coming up. We put the money in there and it's designated for the rent. I get a notice from my bank saying that I have an overdraft fee and I have insufficient funds, and I'm like, why do I have insufficient funds? Because when I just checked the account, the money was in there. When I asked Wesley why the money is missing, he said that it was a pro basketball game that he had to bet on.
How much money was it?
It was $1,300, and then we had to pay another $100 for the late fee. So now it's just like unnecessary.
Mr. Clement?
I thought I was gonna win this time.
Everybody thinks they're gonna win. That's why they gamble.
Yeah, but I've also won big too, and she didn't tell you about when I brought the money back. I did pay the rent. We were a little late, but I brought back rent enough to pay for 2 months, and we also had free spending money on top of it.
So, Mr. Clement.
Because I handle mine.
So,
if I was to win,
rent,
she wouldn't have known.
Okay.
You see the logic here, Your Honor?
So it was the money for rent. When the rent was due and it was taken out of the account, it wasn't there. So at that point, you had gambled it away and you did not have money to cover the rent. Am I right, sir?
Just for a couple of days, young.
The money for the rent.
I brought it back. I brought the money back. When I lost this time, yeah. We didn't get evicted, you know what I'm saying? I left, you know, because they give you so often to pay it. But I did make it within that deadline. And like I say, I paid the month we missed, I paid the next month, and we also had money to do other things.
But do you see why that would be upsetting? That you took money out that was supposed to be for rent, it was gambled away, and you couldn't pay the rent on time?
I don't see what the problem is.
Okay, that's why we're here. That's why we're here. What happened? What happened next?
Okay, Your Honor. There was also a time that Wesley, we have a business account, right? So we together collectively. Both put in $5,000 because we want to start a business, a commercial rental property. So I'm going over the budget and I check the account and $5,000 is missing from the $10,000. Why is $5,000 missing from our business account? This is strictly for our business. Why is it gone? And so he tells me that he played dice with our $5,000. And I'm saying our because we agreed this is a partnership, right? I put in my 5, you put in your 5. Now, you say that you took your 5 out or whatever, but to me, that's going behind my back. You're betraying me. You didn't even tell me. You didn't let me know or anything. So now I'm blinded. I just go in here and see that half of the account is empty.
You gambled the $5,000 in a dice game?
I had, things that I wanted to do with the money.
Like
Wasn't
what?
necessarily all in all gambling, shooting dice, no. But there are some things, that I did use the money for, but my money to handle, things that I was kind of behind on or late on. But yeah, I did.
Did you tell her that you used it, that you took the money and gambled it in a dice game? Is that what you told her?
I didn't feel as if I had to.
Okay, how much of the money of that $5,000 did you go and gamble?
$1,500.
$1,500?
Yeah.
Okay. So you gambled that away in a dice game, and what happened to the rest of the money?
All the rest of the money I use for, things like responsibilities. My family still got food on the table.
Did the two of you agree that this money was earmarked for your business in a business account, and that in the meantime it would stay in this account to grow?
Yes.
And invest,
yes.
Sir?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No?
We didn't say that this was the business account.
We
both didn't put $5,000 in the account for our business.
Okay, I understand. We both put 5 of hers and 5 of mine.
Correct.
With my 5, I didn't communicate with her. I didn't feel comfortable at the time with telling her what it was that I wanted to use the money on.
Okay.
And what I needed to use the money on. I did tell her about the, gambling to kind of take some slack off of what I used the rest of the money for.
Okay, I understand.
Wesley has a little bit of a temper. I got a modeling gig. It was a lot of drinking, a lot of smoking. There were guns. He felt that it was unsafe for me, so he wanted to stay.
Why did you feel that concerned?
I'm the protector, I'm the provider. I'm gonna be there.
But why do you say he has a temper?
The director came in personally to escort him out.
Promotional consideration provided by What else do you say has happened, ma'am?
Wesley has a little bit of a temper, and sometimes it gets in the way of our business. And there was a time when we had a family day, and I got a modeling gig. And it was kind of last minute, and my agent called me up and said that they needed a replacement because somebody called out. Because of the time frame, Wesley, he was a little uncomfortable with it, so we agreed that he would drive me there. So he drove me to set. When we pulled up, it was a different situation. There were a lot of, the artist's entourage was there. It was a lot of drinking, a lot of smoking. There were guns involved, so he felt that the environment, yes. So he felt that it was unsafe for me, so he wanted to stay. That's not what we agreed on. He was just supposed to drop me off. But I said, okay. And so when we got to the door, security kindly explained to him, sir, this is a closed set, you cannot come. Wesley didn't care about whatever the security said. He brushed right past me. He was like, I don't care. And the director came in personally to escort him out the building, and he still would not leave. And
why did you feel that concerned?
Me being who I am, I'm the protector, I'm the provider. I'm gonna be there. I'm not gonna, leave her in the hands of someone else and expect them to protect her, and they don't even know who she is. And then if they trying to protect her, it's probably for their benefit. They try, I don't.
You didn't feel like it was safe?
Not at all.
But why do you say he has a temper?
Because he went off.
Because I went past the security guard. I even told the director, it's my way right now. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. This is my lady. If you want her, you call her late. It's last minute. You interrupting what we got going. So
I could understand his concerns for your safety.
I can understand as well. However, it's in the manner and in the way that you act.
My lady though. No, I'm gonna
What
be
else do you say has happened that would be further evidence of, you say, this temper that he says he had? Because, you know, in this scenario, I could see why he was concerned and didn't want to leave.
Okay, Your Honor. There was a time where I had an emergency business trip that I had to take, and I had to take it ASAP, meaning I needed the money now. I needed to get on the plane at this time. I asked a close relative for $1,000 to take the trip. And when I notified Wesley about it, he was livid. He told me that I went behind his back. He felt like I betrayed him as a man because he wants me to feel like he's my Superman, like he's my knight in shining armor. So whatever I need and whenever I want, I have to go to him. I really didn't think it was a big idea, but he just like went off on me. Like it was a big situation, and I was like, I don't think it's that.
Went off on you how? What do you mean by that?
He was yelling. He's just very aggressive, very passionate, very aggressive. He has a big personality. You might not see it right now. He's very calm, but he was very upset, and I just.
Why were you so upset? It was a family member.
Okay.
It was a family member.
I mean, I'd rather her not rely on anyone else but me. You know, like.
But that's a choice that she can make. If she has a relative who she wants help from, that's a choice that she can make as an individual, right?
No, I'm the one.
Okay.
You can't go behind me.
You're the king in your kingdom, is what you're saying.
Kingdom. You can't go around me.
I had a photo shoot, right? He went out the night before, got too drunk. There's no Wesley, nowhere to be found.
We get to the airport. It's a little too late. I drove her to Alabama. I always come through.
Mr. Clement, you are about taking the risk.
The bigger the risk, the bigger the reward.
If you'd like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free, 1-877-311-2222, or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Miss the show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms and follow us on social media for exclusive content. What's your issue in the relationship? You said at the beginning that you think that she's just overreacting to a lot of these things. No. You don't see any of the scenarios that she brought up today as problematic?
Yeah, but all of the scenarios that she's brought up today, Your Honor, I've taken care of. You know, like with this rent situation, the rent was paid. You know, might have not been on time this month, but I paid it.
But Mr. Clement, the goal should be to pay your rent on time.
Yeah, and like
every month.
We pay our rent on time. Okay, so this month we messed up, but next month is on time.
But is the reason why it's not? You didn't mess up because you were out working so hard. You missed it because you had the money and you decided to go gamble.
Well, that's the art of the game. You know, I could have come back with more.
But this isn't a game. This is your life. This is where you live with your child.
Yeah, we was able to, you know, keep going.
Mr. Clement, let me give you some constructive advice on this, sir. It's one thing when people have extra money and they gamble and it's a hobby. I'm concerned because what I see is you don't have extra money. This is not extra money for you to take and use and that you can afford to lose. Because that's the rule, right? If you can actually afford to lose it.
That's not how you think about it. You know what I'm saying?
That's why we're having this discussion. Because I want you to understand.
It works for me.
You know
the game, you ain't always gonna win. If you always win, then ain't nobody want to gamble.
Mr. Clement, have you ever been to Las Vegas?
Always. I go there.
You've been to Vegas. Yeah. So when you go to Vegas and you walk around and you see those big, tall, beautiful hotels, how do you think they build them? You know why?
Taxpayers.
They count on people like you, Mr. Clement.
They don't count on
It's not taxpayers, Mr. Clement.
They done had to close a couple of them.
It is not the taxpayers. It is people like you, Mr. Clement.
Nevada don't have a state tax.
Who go to Vegas with that kind of attitude. Nah. Because they count on the fact that they're gonna, no matter how much they lose, they're gonna win it back and they're gonna win big. Mm-hmm. What I'm saying to you, sir, is the choices that you're making with the money, don't use your rent money. Don't use the savings that you put in the business account. Because that makes me believe you have a problem. Because you don't have the money to spare. So you think, Ms. Evans, there is a problem. You can't get anyone to change if they don't see an issue with their actions.
Right.
So what do? You have to You have to make choices to minimize your suffering. That means you cannot have a joint account. That's just what you have to do right now, because Mr. Clement will take the money when he wants to and use it to gamble.
Yeah, but like I say, I don't.
And that's unfair.
It's not a problem. It's not an everyday thing.
Mr. Clement, I'm just basing this on the facts that have been presented before me today.
Yeah.
All I'm saying to you, sir, is remember the conversation we've had today and remember the warning. Your rent money every month should not depend on whether you're over or under.
Yeah, but that was one occasion, not a 4 years.
Your Honor, can I tell you about another time?
Well, of gambling?
No, this is about this is about drinking.
What's the issue with that?
Okay, so Wesley loves to turn up. He likes to go out with his friends, and it causes major problems because I had a photo shoot, right? A big opportunity out of state.
Did you miss it?
He went out the night before.
We made it, Yon.
Got too drunk. Of course, I wake up. Hello, Wesley. There's no Wesley. Nowhere to be found.
Why was he late?
He's up. Why were you late, Wesley?
Okay, Chasity don't want me to drink and drive. You know, every time I do it, that's another.
She's right about that.
She might have with you in this courtroom. But this time I decided to do the responsible thing and crash on my homeboy couch. No, I ain't wake up on time. We get to the airport. It's a little too late. We missed that flight.
A little too late. I missed my flight.
But guess what I did, Your Honor? I drove her to Alabama. We made it to the shoot. We made it to the shoot on time. But you say as I should, I'm gonna always make it happen.
Mr.
And that's
Clement?
the thing I don't understand with her and this whole court case right here is I always come through.
If he just
I always come through.
Mr. Clement, you are about taking the risk.
I mean,
and making
the bigger the risk,
gamble.
the bigger the reward.
Addiction can create many challenges in a relationship, such as broken trust, poor communication, and issues with intimacy. Couples counseling provides both partners a safe place to rebuild a loving and healthy relationship. Reach out to betterhelp.com/divorcecourt to get connected with a licensed couples counselor today.
Let's talk seriously, because there's going to be a time where you're going to take that risk, you're going to take that gamble, and it's not going to work, and the results are going to be catastrophic. I'm just here to tell you, I'm not warning you, I'm not lecturing you, I'm just telling you it's going to happen if you don't make a change. You have a lovely woman in your life who cares about you, a beautiful child. Start thinking about the big picture instead of cutting everything so close, Mr. Clement.
I'm not a lovely man.
You understand, Mr. Clement?
I guess.
That's all I'm saying. I'm just trying to offer the two of you some helpful advice as you continue to go down this road. You say you want to get married, so work on these things now. Just work on some of these issues now, because right this minute, you're just not ready to take the next step. You're not ready. You got to start making some better decisions, because it's not just about you anymore, it's about your family. So, as you go forward, learn how to communicate better in a way that's going to build one another up. And when you have a joint account and you take money out, just communicate it. Just talk about it. Just discuss it so the two of you are on the same page. You say you're building this kingdom and you're the king. Well, she's the queen. So she has a say-so in what's going on in your life and this foundation and the joint team that you're building together. So go forward as the team you say you want to be and make decisions for your family, not just for you. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you. I think Judge Faith had really sound advice for the both of us, but I really like the part where she said that if he doesn't acknowledge his problem, then there can't be a solution.
I mean, I'm gonna keep making my lady smile, I do love her, I might have a couple issues or she got a couple issues with me, but, and she know, I'm always take care of her, I'm always take care of my family, you feel me? That's why we still here today.
Yes, if it doesn't change, I have to take a separation for a bit so he can see what it is without me, and maybe that will make him realize how serious I am.